2022 is a year still in flux, with a number of big-name titles that may or may not actually arrive sometime during the year. And with the calendar about to flip over, I thought it would be fun to talk about those big games and if there's a chance they could be delayed. Hey there friends, it's Kodiak here. Welcome back to Legacy Gaming. Today, we're diving into the biggest games of 2022 that still don't have a release date. Just so we're all on the same page, there is no real order to this list. It's just a collection of some of the most anticipated titles that still don't have a firm day and month for release. And I'll let you in on a little secret, it's quite a few. Easily one of my most anticipated games of 2022, Gotham Knights kind of continues on the legacy established by the Arkham series. Although it's WB Montreal at the helm of this project, it looks like their experience from Arkham City is being carried over into Gotham Knights. We haven't actually heard from the WB team in quite a while, and while we did get a new trailer for the Suicide Squad at the Video Game Awards, we haven't heard so much as a peep from the Gotham Knights crew. In terms of what we do know about the game, well, we'll be able to play as one of four main characters: Batgirl, Robin, Nightwing, and Red Hood. Batman is dead, and the mysterious Court of Owls is vying for control over Gotham. Outside of that, we've seen one chunk of pre-alpha gameplay, but that is well over a year old at this point, so we really have no idea where the game is at in development. Nevertheless, the team is still targeting a 2022 release date, and honestly, I buy it. Although not the biggest name on the list, I'd be lying if I said I wasn't excited for Shadow Warrior 3. The Flying Wild Hog studio has had to delay this game into 2022, but with each new trailer or snippet of video, I get more excited about the run-and-gun nature of the title. Now, I'll be real with you guys, I never played the first two games, but when I saw the first trailer for Shadow Warrior 3, I was hooked. An Eastern-inspired world mixed with wildly different and over-the-top enemies, as well as extravagant guns, blood and guts, and plenty of execution animations, everything you'd expect from a Doom-style game with a fresh coat of paint. If you haven't seen any of the trailers, do yourself a favor and watch them in full. They're filled with gameplay and give you that perfect first look at what to expect when you fire up Shadow Warrior 3. Since day one, this is a title I've been looking to pick up, and although it's been pushed back, I have no doubt it's finally coming in 2022. If there's one game on this list I cannot wait to learn more about, it's Hogwarts Legacy. The idea of an open-world Harry Potter RPG has me beyond excited, but I know all too well that it's very possible the game could be a train wreck. The team has been quiet as of late, and I mean super quiet. Rumors are that the WB team is being very cautious pushing the game too hard, especially given that J.K. Rowling keeps making headlines for all the wrong reasons. That being said, you think we'd know or have seen more about the game at this point. Hogwarts Legacy is still slated for a 2022 release, but all we really know is from that first trailer that will be exploring Hogwarts and the surrounding world in the 1800s. Livid thinks news about the game may coincide with the new Fantastic Beasts movie releasing in the spring, and honestly, I hope so. The fact that we've never seen a real AAA effort attempt a modern Harry Potter game is just a travesty. Despite everything, Hogwarts Legacy is still set to release next year, and while I'm definitely worried, the hype is still very much alive. A late addition to this list is Space Marine 2. I don't think many people saw this one coming, but when it was revealed at the Game Awards, fans of the Warhammer universe went nuts. We even ran a poll on our channel, and of the 3,000 plus people that entered, 42% of them said Space Marine 2 was their most anticipated game of the new titles revealed during the Game Awards. While primarily a cinematic trailer, it's pretty obvious that this is going to be another third-person hack-and-slash action game where players take control of Titus, returning from the first game in their fight against enemies of Imperium. This time around, the Space Marines aren't taking on orcs, but instead will be going toe-to-toe with the Tyranids, a collective hive-mind insectoid faction of Xenos that are the ultimate predators. Luckily, it looks like Titus will be bringing a trusty chainsword to the action, the perfect weapon to take on this new threat of swarming bioforms. Being an ultimate Warhammer 40k fan, this is easily one of Livid's most anticipated games of 2022, but when exactly it releases, sadly, we still don't know. If you watched the Video Game Awards towards the end of the year, you might have seen the most recent trailer for the Suicide Squad, Kill the Justice League. Straight up, I am now sold on this game. Being developed by Rocksteady, the team behind the Batman Arkham games, Suicide Squad looks like an absolute riot. Cinematics give off fragments of hilariously offbeat stories, the voice acting is solid, and in the most recent trailer, we finally got a glimpse at the world, and most importantly, the gameplay. I get a serious playground vibe with the combat that's not only flashy, but way over the top, and with a colorful crew like the Suicide Squad, I think it works. I've watched the most recent trailer over and over again, trying to pick apart each character, their wild movesets, and just get a better understanding of what we're actually doing in the game. And while all that might not be clear just yet, one thing sure is, the game looks awesome. You can really see the influences of the Batman Arkham games in this upcoming title, but I think the Rocksteady team is taking some serious liberties and allowing us to truly live in a more comic-based world that goes well beyond what's believable. If the systems are there to support what looks like awesome action combat, and the team is capable of putting together an offbeat but wildly entertaining narrative, I think Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League could be a smash hit. Sadly, we're still waiting on that firm release date, but with the latest trailer showcasing the game in a pretty solid place, I think we'll be getting more information on that sooner rather than later. If you played the first game, then you already know. God of War Ragnarok is most likely going to be one of the biggest releases of 2022, and although it's a PlayStation exclusive, that doesn't take away from the fact that the game will no doubt grab headlines when it announces its official release date. If you played the first game, then you already know what's up, but if you didn't, all you really need to know is this. Kratos pissed off Asgard, and now Ragnarok is coming. Boom. As simple as that. Well, not really, but you get what I mean. God of War Ragnarok beats the same drum as its predecessor, focusing entirely on telling a narrative-driven action story. The first game was the closest thing we've seen to an interactive movie, and with many ranking it their best game of all time, I have no doubt the second installment in the modern-day version of the series will wow us once again. As I said before, God of War Ragnarok doesn't have a concrete release date just yet, but it's definitely arriving in 2022. If sunshine and rainbows could somehow be packaged up into a video game, I think the result would be Slime Rancher. The indie hit from 2016 is finally getting a sequel, and fans of the first-person simulation game are over the moon. I was hesitant to play the first game. I just couldn't bring myself, a grown-ass man, to download a game where you suck up slimes with a vacuum and collect their brightly colored poop for cash, but like so many, the game won me over and then some. Slime Rancher 2 is a true sequel to the first game, and at first glance doesn't look to be changing up the formula in any drastic way, and honestly, that's not going to bother anybody. The game is about exploration, creativity, and just adventure. With a new island to explore, overhauled graphics, and more slimes than ever, I think it's safe to say that Slime Rancher 2 is going to be a surprise hit of the new year. If you were paying attention to gaming back in mid-2020, you might remember a small trailer for Avowed. The game, often compared to Skyrim, is still shrouded in mystery, and while there are some leaks floating around, it's impossible to say what the game is actually about, how it plays, or really anything beyond the small bits of information you can pick out from its reveal trailer. What we do know is that Avowed will be a first-person high fantasy game that takes place in a land called Eora. It's being created by Obsidian Entertainment and will most likely be set in an open world. Other than that, guys, we don't know much. I think this is one of those titles that's bound to get delayed into 2023. I just don't see how it doesn't happen, but you never know. The environment is ripe for a new massive RPG, and with The Elder Scrolls 6 still years away, Avowed could very easily come out of nowhere and surprise us all. When EA's Motive Studios announced they were remaking Dead Space, the internet collectively cheered. Praised as one of the best horror games of the modern age, the original title found new and exciting ways to blend environmental storytelling with nail-biting suspense and cathartic killing. It was the perfect storm that was perfect for the mid-2000s, but with modern technology and graphics leaps and bounds better than they were back then, it makes complete sense to remake such an iconic game. According to some news outlets, when the game was revealed, it was already mid-development, and while there are few details about what's actually changing or staying with the game, many believe late 2022 is still a very reachable target for the team. What is clear is that this is definitely a remake, and while there are reports that the Dead Space universe will be expanded, I wouldn't expect a wildly different game. Just a few minutes revisiting the 2008 title reminded me how incredible the first game was, and got me thinking about how terrifying it'll be with next-gen graphics and gameplay. Long story short, if you're a fan of the old game and the team doesn't screw up development, you're most likely going to love this. And if you're new to gaming and want to play one of the best action horror games ever remade, well, you'll hopefully love this too. It's a win-win, and it's all going down in 2022. If a paranormal action-adventure game set in modern Tokyo sounds like your cup of tea, then you're probably already following Ghostwire Tokyo. For the rest of you, this is a game that was announced back in mid-2020 and piqued a lot of people's interest. The reveal trailer was dark, moody, and sometimes downright scary, but it's the action combat that really made me wonder, okay, what is this game actually about? What we do know is that 99% of the population has vanished, Thanos snap style, and it's your job, whoever you are, to fight off an invasion of paranormal beings with your fists. Yeah, the combat is a bit different, and it looks like you'll be using a combination of hand-to-hand fighting and supernatural abilities to take down anything that gets in your way. It's all a bit different, and right now, that's really the best word I could use to describe this game. There was a trailer a few months back that at least set up some sort of big bad, so it's nice to see there is at least some sort of a narrative that will pull the game together, but what that actually is, I don't have a clue. Ghostwire Tokyo continues to intrigue me and is still slated for a spring 2022 release. We can't have a 2022 hype video without talking about the sequel to Breath of the Wild. This is without a doubt the most anticipated Switch title, full stop. And after years of waiting, I think fans of the series will finally be getting their game in 2022. Now, this is purely based on some internal leaks that hit the internet a while back, so take that with a huge grain of salt, but it does seem like the time is right for a new Nintendo tentpole title. While we've only seen bits and pieces of the new game, Nintendo really isn't holding anything back, showcasing new abilities, new enemies, and new dynamics in the world of Hyrule. If rumors are to be believed, the sequel will take a much darker turn. I mean, the reveal trailer alone showed Link and Zelda resurrecting Ganondorf, so something is up. But short of that, there's still so much shrouded in secrecy. That being said, the game is expected to release sometime in 2022. My bet is around the winter holidays, and although this is a bit of a wait, I think Switch fans will just be happy to have a concrete release date. Maybe it's just me, but I thought 2021 was a decent year for gaming. It felt like developers were bouncing back from the pandemic, and out of that, we got some really good titles. On the flip side of things, we saw a number of delays that pushed big games back into 2022. Apart from Elden Ring, Dying Light 2, and a few other notable games, the year is wide open for new titles to swoop in and turn heads. But for now, it seems like nearly everyone is keeping their cards close to their chest. 11 big games, 11 unknown release dates. But which one has your attention? Let us know down in the comment section below which game you're hoping to play in the new year. While we won't be covering every game, Legacy Gaming will be covering most of the games on this list. So if you like our style of content and want info-driven videos that get straight to the point, we would love your support. Hit that thumbs up and consider subscribing for new videos in your feed almost every single day. We also invite you to join us on Discord. We've got a great group of around 7,000 with new sections opening up soon for the latest games, so check out the link in the description and join today. Finally, if you like everything we're doing here at Legacy Gaming and you want to support us even more, you can do so by becoming a member. For just a couple bucks, you're helping evolve the channel and take our community to that next level. Check out the join button below to learn more. My name is Kodiak, and from everyone here at Legacy Gaming, thanks for watching and play on.